Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, with that, let's open it up for questions, please.
What were his impressions when he came up here for the visit? And the Packers were as high on him as they said they were.
Jace, what were your impressions when you came up to Green Bay to visit? And did you get any sort of sense that the Packers were as high on you as they turned out to be?
Yeah, so, immediately from the get-go, once I got to Green Bay, I felt that family atmosphere. Everyone on the staff was genuinely good people, and that's all they expressed about how great the community is. They really care about their football, and that's an environment that I want to be in. It's someone who loves football that much. It's like you want to reward the city and be able to contribute as much as you can. And, I had a really successful visit there. Got to hang out with a lot of the coaches, learn their style, and it was more of a character thing, just getting to experience everything that they've been through and, how they want to run a team. And, I feel like I felt all those categories.
Jace, you're going to join a room that's got some pretty well-established veterans. What are you hoping to learn specifically from a guy like Jimmy Graham or Mercedes Lewis?
You're going to join a room that has some pretty established veteran tight ends. What are you looking to learn from guys like Jimmy Graham and Mercedes Lewis?
I mean, what a better opportunity can you have? As a young tight end, you want to, everybody's mindset is you want to be the next big thing. And then what better to do it than with, Mercedes and then Jimmy Graham, two guys who've had an amazing career in the NFL. And it's just like, I'm just trying to get in and learn everything I can from them because, they've been playing for a X amount of years, where someday I wish I can be too. So anything advice that they give me or anything that they're saying to me, even if they're being hard on me, I'm going to take it in. And so they obviously know what they're doing. And so, two great role models to have.
You talked about your route from Kansas to Texas A&M. What was going on with that journey to a couple of schools?
Can you talk about your journey from Kansas to Texas A&M and what all happened there?
Yeah, so I was actually on my third offensive coordinator at Kansas. Just wasn't the best fit overall. And, I've always dreamed of playing big-time college football. And I felt like me going to the JUCO route was the best way for me to get re-recruited by everybody. And so from there I went JUCO. And then, Coach Fisher, he just gave me the ultimate opportunity of being the main tight end at Texas A&M. And, I took that opportunity, head on. And then, it worked out for the better.
How does he think he compares to the other tight ends in the class? What does he think sets him apart?
How do you think you compare to the other tight ends in this rookie class, and what do you think sets you apart from them?
I've never been the type to, try to compare and people of who you are, how you're competing against those other guys. Because I feel like, you can talk so much, but at the end of the day, it's what you show. And, that's going to be my biggest thing. I have that big chip on my shoulders, proving why I still, there's a reason I left early, and it's because I feel like I was the best tight end in this draft class. And so, I have a lot of work to prove out for me, but I've always been in a situation where I want to take on the challenges, head on, and that's what I plan to do here and just prove to Green Bay they made the right pick.
Could you have imagined this back when you were ignored at Kansas and toiling away at Northeast Oklahoma or whatever the heck it was?
Could you imagine this happening back when you were at Kansas, seemingly being ignored and toying away at the JUCO college?
Not at all. If you were to tell me that, Aaron Rodgers was going to be my quarterback in about 4 years, I would have laughed at you and called you a liar. But, God's great, and, that's why you prepare the way you do. And, God presents himself with rewards when you put in the preparation. So, I'm blessed.
When Jimbo Fisher went to his JUCO, was he going there to look at Jace or somebody else?
When Jimbo Fisher went to your JUCO school, was he going there to look at you or another player?
So actually, and it's been misinterpreted throughout this whole story, but he actually gave me a call about during Thanksgiving break, and he's kind of let me know what was happening. He might be staying at Florida State, might be going to A&M. Regardless, he wanted me, and so from there, it was mid-November. I cut off all recruiting, and it was straight Jimbo only. But so he technically never came out to A&M or my JUCO. It was strictly over the phone. And that's just how we kind of developed our trust so quick was, I committed basically over the phone with no visit.
Anything else for Jace?
What do you think your biggest transition to the next level is going to be as a pass catcher or a blocker?
What do you think your biggest transition at the next level is going to be, as a pass catcher or as a blocker?
100% the blocking. You know, that's just something as a college player, you know, coming fresh out of college, you know, you're playing in the NFL. It's a grown man league, so you better get your stuff ready. Then, you know, to block at that next level, you know, running routes, anybody can do that, you know, and I'm going to try to be the best route runner I can, but at the end of the day, if I'm not blocking, then I'm not doing what the Green Bay Packers, you know, picked me for. So, you know, I'm taking blocking on head on. That's my number one mission, to prove to everybody I can be a pass catching tight end as well as a blocking tight end.
What made you such a good deep threat?
What made you such a good deep threat?
I ran a lot since I was a little kid. I've always had to run the most. I've always had to, whether it was punishments or whether it was trying to prove an example, but I've always done the long running, so it's just kind of some of the genetics, I would say. I'm just used to running a lot, and that just translated over to the field.
How much did you line up in line compared to how much did you line up in the slot?
Yeah, so, you know, actually, I only lined up in the slot maybe 10%. I mean, you can go look at the numbers for me. But, I mean, I was in line 70% of the time at A&M, which people don't really get because they, you know, all they hear is, you know, Jace is a pass-catching tight end. But you go watch the film, I was really in the trenches, you know, a lot of my time. Now, I wasn't blocking all the time. I was running a lot of routes. But, you know, majority, I had my hand in the ground. That's just how Coach Fisher was.
Any other questions for Jace? All right. Thank you, Jace.